be a master of Pokémon. Do you have the skills to be number one? I want to take the ultimate step, find the courage to be bold, to risk it all and not forget the lessons that I hold.
Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 116 of the Pokemon Snapshot. How are you doing tonight, Josh?
I'm fantastic, Jeff. Next week is the 8th grade promotion ceremony. Next Friday is a week from the day we're recording this. And then my students don't come back, and it gets to be about the best part of the year, which is my summer.
So hold on. So your 8th grade ceremony is next week. Is that all the school or just 8th grade?
Just 8th grade. So 8th graders don't come back after the 15th. And then I chill for a week and get all my end of the year stuff done. And then I'm free for, 2 months.
Lucky you.
I know. Why did you ever quit teaching? I'm just kidding. Because teaching is a horrible profession some days. Some days it's fun, but a lot of times it's not.
I'll be honest. The one thing when people ask, do you miss anything about teaching? And really, I miss the breaks. That is it.
I like working with the other teachers. It's for sure the best part of the job. And the actual teaching part is fun, but if you're not a teacher, you don't realize that, or you don't know someone that's a teacher. Teaching is only like 40 to 50% of the job.
Yeah, it's all the stuff that doesn't involve teaching the kids and having to deal with the kids. That is nothing I want to look forward to anymore.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing in your free time, though?
So I've been playing Alan Wake 2. I'm still playing it. I looked it up on how long to beat, and it said that it's like a 19-hour game, and I don't even think I'm like maybe halfway through, and I'm at 17 hours because I have to go see. It's scary, and I have to go really slow through everything, and I also have to explore everywhere, so it takes me twice as long. I've only peed myself like 4 times.
This is still, as I said, I think I said last episode, this is a game I need to play. Then again, I don't like scary. That's a reason I've never gone into, like, I really want to get into the Resident Evil series, but again, those games are scary.
I'm exaggerating. It's not, I mean, it's like creepy, like the atmosphere is really creepy, but it's really not. It's not did you play The Last of Us?
I played The Last of Us up until I got to a place where I did not have enough ammo and could not beat it.
Yeah. See, it's not, I don't think it's that bad. Like, it's creepy and like it's intense, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily a scary game.
Okay. And I didn't find The Last of Us scary.
Yeah. No, this is fine. Like, it's a pretty, there's some comedy in it too, so it's definitely not all just like super scary. What about you? What have you been playing?
I have gotten onto the Power Wash Simulator train again.
Oh, you're back on it? You're back on the wagon?
I'm back on the wagon, or the
off the wagon.
Pulling my little Power Wash around, because finally for Switch 2, I was able to play the Adventure Time DLC, and I beat it, and people aren't a fan of it online, but I enjoyed it. The last level there's parts of the last level in this DLC that did kind of suck. They kind of made it difficult to get to some places. I think I would have enjoyed it even more if I was an Adventure Time fan. It kind of made me want to watch the cartoon. The humor, I think.
Yeah, I've seen some episodes. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think the humor would be right up my alley, but they did a good job of having an overall narrative, or like a narrative to it.
Yeah.
So like one level, you're cleaning up the Ice King's palace and it's covered in pizza. And then the level after that, you go to, I think it was called Pizza Sally's, and and you're not just cleaning off mud, you're cleaning off ice because the Ice King attacked the pizza place so it's fun stuff like that, but that's about all I've been doing. We talked a little bit before. I played and beat Epic Mickey as well. First time I ever played that game. That was an okay game. You can definitely tell it was a 2010 platformer. They didn't really, with the remastered version or the rebrushed version as they call it, they didn't really do anything with the controls, I can tell, but they did make it look pretty.
Well, that's good. It's the only reason I have the video up on the podcast, Jeff, is because you look so pretty too.
Thank you. Maybe there'll be a remaster of me one day. But let's go on to some Pokemon news. There was a couple things that hit this week. So over in Japan, the Pokemon Horizons anime enters the Wonder Voyage arc on May 22nd. Notably debuting, they've already announced it will include Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y, which was in the new Pokemon Legends ZA game, those Pokemon were introduced. And then this new storyline bridges the series with the recently released Pokemon Pokopia and introduces a mysterious new character traveling with a Ditto.
They're really getting the synergy going between the show and the game.
I know. I think that's kind of cool. I have
Mhm.
not watched any of Pokemon Horizons, and yeah, 30 years from now we could get there.
I know. Gonna be.
But I don't know how we would feel because then we couldn't make fun of Ash because he's no longer in the series.
That'll be weird. Well, I'm sure the new protagonist is also a stupid child. So
Yeah, I watched like the first episode, but I don't remember much. It's a series I need to watch it one day. Then our next bit of news, Pokemon has released a new collaboration with Target. So at Target you can get different things such as apparel with like Kanto themed hoodies. It's actually a Kanto themed jacket, looks really cool. Psyduck hats and graphic tees. There's a keyboard that has see-through keys, the starters on it. A
nice.
Pikachu button and Pokeballs around the F keys. They partnered with Nature Well for some themed hair and body fragrance mists. Ones that
Okay.
I saw were Mango Blaze Charmander, Splashberry Squirtle, and Flutterpop Fizz Butterfree.
Mm.
I don't know what a Flutterpop Fizz smells like, but
I don't know why you would ever want to buy something with a Butterfree on it.
And then they also, Josh, you're gonna have to explain this to the kids. They also have a Charizard themed Trapper Keeper.
So a Trapper Keeper is basically like, so when you have to check your email, the kids still email, right? Do the kids email?
Sure.
Because so
DM.
okay. It was going to work better for email. We're going to go with email because they probably have to send emails at some point. Surely. It's kind of like how the kids will put the entire subject, like email into the subject line, and occasionally adults do this too. The Trapper Keeper is kind of like that, but for your papers. You just shove it all in there.
For kids that are listening, please tell us, do you guys use Trapper Keepers? Like, they were the big thing. And like when Josh and I were in elementary, middle, high school, you get these big ones and they were like cloth. They had like 5 zippers.
Yeah.
They held your pens.
Yeah.
They were really cool.
One of my favorite bands has a song called Trapper Keeper.
This one, I looked at it's like a big plastic binder. It's not as cool as the Trapper Keepers we had as a kid. And so going with this Pokemon collab, I was interested because all across the internet, if you follow Pokemon stuff, people are complaining because adults are ruining it.
It's like our parents' generation did with Facebook.
Yes. And so people are going and like Targets are wiped free. Like so Target has started this new thing, and I noticed it. I think it was last year they did like a Space Jam one, and so they
Yeah.
have like this section. My Target specifically does it down by the electronics section and the books. There's now this shelf that is usually what they're collabing with. And so I actually so this came out last weekend from when we're recording this. So by the time you're listening to this, about a week and a half ago, and I went on that Tuesday. So I think it might drop Saturday or Sunday. So 3 or 4 days after, just to see what My Target still had. I did some on-site reconnaissance or whatever you would call it.
No, the reconnaissance is when Matthew McConaughey makes his resurgence.
I did on the ground reporting. How's
There
that
we
sound?
go. Much better.
There
much
we go.
better.
That's the
you're
word
you're
I'm looking
basically
for.
an independent reporter.
Independent reporter to
Yeah.
see what was going on. And My Target, they still had the Lego sets. There was the Eevee and the Pikachu Lego sets, which I've seen that Costco's are starting to get the Eevee Lego set. So if your parents or yourself have a Costco membership, you can get that for $48 instead of the $60. My Costco has not gotten them yet. Yes, I've looked multiple times. So I've seen the Eevee and the Pikachu Lego sets. There was a bunch of plushes, a bunch of kids' clothes. But let me just say, the adult clothes, there was one Jigglypuff t-shirt.
And nobody wants that.
Yeah. So again, it kind of goes with what I've been seeing online, that adults are ruining it and they're just wiping the place clean. I also didn't see like the health and beauty, so like the fragrances or that, and the keyboard was gone. I even looked because I saw that keyboard. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look, and the keyboard was sold out, and it's sold out online. Same with the Trapper Keeper, it's sold out online too.
Yeah.
But some of these things I looked at, like the fragrances, I could order them online if I wanted to. Not that I want to, but I was just trying to see what all the different fragrances were, and there's more than just the ones we listed. But yeah, that's the Pokemon news. So, new anime information, Pokemon with Target, and Lego Eevee is coming to Costco's. All right, so going on to our question of the week, and we had an answer for each of our last two questions of the week. So the first question of the week was, what do you collect? And Manhunter in our Discord said, I collect Magic the Gathering cards. I had a collection of 80,000 cards that I sold before a big move last summer, but now I'm slowly building it back up. My favorite, he also answered his favorite water activity, which he said, my favorite water activity, aside from doing wrestling moves in the pool, is a weird one. I like to go out waist deep in the ocean and throw a soccer or volleyball as far into the water as I could, and then race with my brothers to see who could get to it first. Tons of free cardio.
That sounds exhausting. In the sun, I would die. Also, 80,000 Magic the Gathering cards is insane. You would have to have a second house like next to the one you were moving into if you wanted to keep those.
Yeah, that is a lot of cards. Have you ever played Magic the Gathering, Josh?
I literally couldn't tell you a single thing about Magic the Gathering other than I assume there are witches in it and wizards.
My friend tried to teach me to play, and actually I think I learned to play. And it's one of those things that is so cool. I would love to get into it. It's just expensive.
Yeah, see, I feel like that and Dungeons and Dragons and World of Warcraft, stuff like that, like the super, generally considered the super nerdy stuff, is stuff that I never got into, not because it's like too nerdy or whatever, but because I would never return. I would get obsessed with it, and you would never see me do.
I mean,
like you would never see me again.
I played Dungeons and Dragons, enjoy it a lot. A World of Warcraft is one of those things. Yeah, I don't think it'd be a good idea for me to get into. But Magic the Gathering, have you seen like some of the collabs they've done in recent years?
No.
They released last year. They released a Final Fantasy set.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
And it had people from across all the games. It was really cool. They've done Spider-Man, SpongeBob, Ninja Turtles, and I think all those cards are legal to use in like tournaments. So you could have Spider-Man doing something to SpongeBob, and
that's funny. I would have thought Magic the Gathering would have like never touched licensing deals like that.
No, they've got really big. They've done Street Fighter. I think they call something about realms. I don't know the exact term they used, like which makes sense because it's about otherworldly things. So, but this isn't a Magic the Gathering podcast because I don't really know what I'm talking about. That's just from friends I know who play it.
Manhunter, you'll have to start a Magic the Gathering podcast.
Kate said, my favorite water activity is also tubing, but the float down the river type that Josh and I made fun of and said wasn't real tubing.
Floating down rivers is fun too. It's not going to put you as close to death's doorstep as our kind of tubing.
She goes on to say,
it is pretty metal. Like if you were to like drown in Satan's kingdom, that might be the most metal way you could die.
And then going on to some comments we got on some of our videos about our controversial food opinions. Crafty Casey said, I don't trust people who don't eat vegetables.
Hard agree, but I do have exceptions for Jeff. And my wife.
Thank you. I've gotten better. Yeah, I remember the times I've met your wife that we're pretty close to what we like to eat.
I know.
The same.
It's terrible.
I've gotten better with vegetables. I will eat broccoli now. I had asparagus the other day.
Ooh, I like asparagus. It makes your pee smell funny.
Vegetables, I will not do. Well, it's technically a fruit. I hate tomatoes.
Love tomatoes. I would eat a tomato right now like an apple.
I don't like onions.
I'll eat a raw onion. Don't care.
And then Brussels sprouts, do not like Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts are good if you bake them right, and if you have like if they have something like balsamic vinaigrette is really good, or balsamic vinegar or whatever is really good on Brussels sprouts. Parmesan
and
cheese.
Last but not least, I can't stand cauliflower.
I also like cauliflower. Do you like squash?
Yeah. Squash is okay. I prefer like a sweet potato.
Oh, I do. I like sweet potatoes. Squash is my favorite vegetable.
All right. But this is also a food. We're going on so many tangents.
This isn't a vegetable podcast. If we have a vegetable podcast, we're going to have to talk about like kale and what's the other one? It's not lard.
Okra.
No, I love okra. What are you talking about, dude? Fried okra is a Southern staple. Chard. We're going to be talking about kale and chard.
Going on, Kate's also said, I'm with you, Josh. I want ground beef over steak almost every time.
Thank you, Kate.
And then on our Squirtle Squad YouTube short, Non-Political Gamer, I like your name, Non-Political Gamer, said, the Squirtle Squad episode was my favorite. Just hearing Squirtle Squad brought back memories of that episode.
There we go.
Josh was not around during the episode, so that's why we had to educate everyone about the Squirtle Squad. And he doesn't remember what he watched when he was a kid. All right, Josh, going on to our next segment.
Education.
Kate had a few things for us this time. She said ascorbic acid can be pronounced either way. What was the other way? Ascorbic? Is that how we said it?
It looks like ascorbic. I thought ascorbic acid was a thing, but it does look like ascorbic acid.
Yeah, and she said, but the ascorbic way is most common. She also told us that mogging is being demonstrate. Bleh.
Try it again.
Mogging is being demonstrably superior.
Demonstrably.
Whatever. Superior to another, usually to someone who is nearby. It can be a word with a qualifying prefix to indicate the way in which someone is being mogged.
Word mogged you right there.
So frame mogging would be...
I pronunciation mogged you there.
So frame mogging would be being visibly closer to what is viewed as an ideal physical frame, skeleton, and muscle development. There we go. And weren't we saying this was the young people speak? And Kate's older than we are, so...
I know, Kate. How do you... Oh, she has kids, though.
She does. She has kids who use all the slang. The only slang my kid goes around doing is 6'7".
Oh. Have you put her up for adoption yet?
It has been dying down. And then our last thing Kate said was, my uncle's farm was on a mountain and very much not flat.
Yeah. That was in reference to me saying something about flat, like all farms being flat. I think I made a joke. Look, we don't let facts get in the way of a good joke here on the Pokemon Snapshot. That is our official stance.
Jokes over facts any day.
Exactly.
And then Kate will correct us, and then that's how she gets her segment.
Yeah, we're okay, and we're okay with being corrected. That's what really sets us apart, Jeff.
All right, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Pokemon Snapshot or send us an email at thepokemonsnapshot@gmail.com. You can also find us on YouTube and TikTok. Just search for the Pokemon Snapshot. We post short clips on both platforms, and if you'd rather watch the full episode, the complete video is available on our YouTube channel. And if you're enjoying the show, leave us a rating on your favorite listening app so other Pokemon fans can discover the podcast. All right, Josh, bring us into our next segment.
Previously on Pokemon.
So, previously on Pokemon, Team Ash arrived on Asorbia Island looking for a bite to eat, but their plans were shelved when they ignored Officer Jenny and rushed headfirst into a burning warehouse. When their Pokemon failed to stop the fire, they were saved by a team of Wartortle led by Captain Aiden, who looked suspiciously like Brock, feeling completely butthurt and inadequate. Squirtle threw a temper tantrum and busted out his iconic Squirtle Squad shades, leading to some highly questionable parenting from Ash as he begged Aiden to let Squirtle train with the big kids. During a target practice session, Team Rocket lured the turtles into a pit trap and stole Pikachu just to power a portable desk fan. It's true. All they did was Pikachu was running that fan. I don't get it.
Free energy.
The Wartortle managed to flood Team Rocket's cabin and hop their way to freedom. They arrived at a massive apartment fire just in time, stepping up to save an idiot kid because the elite Blastoise squad apparently forgot they had feet and got blocked by a single overturned truck. Propelled into the fiery building, Squirtle and the lead Wartortle had to save each other from crumbling floors and falling doors, eventually leaping over a wall of fire with the kid in tow. After the fire was out, the two turtles finally dabbed it up and ended their rivalry with a mutual handshake, leaving Team Ash to salute Captain Aiden and head off to their next filler adventure.
And it is a filler adventure today, folks. It's better than the last one, though. It's
better, yes. Yeah, so going on to this week's episode, we are watching the episode Pokémon Food Fight, or as it was known in Japanese, Enter the Snorlax.
Pokémon Food Fight's a better name.
They were going for Enter the Dragon, I guess.
But Snorlax is not a dragon.
I don't know what this means. It aired on August 5th, 1999 in Japan, and on August 19th, 2000 in the United States. And so, to put you into the mood of when this episode took place, let's look at some world news. The number one movie was The Cell, starring Jennifer Lopez and Vince Vaughn. This visually stunning and incredibly dark sci-fi psychological thriller debuted at the top spot, pulling in around $17.5 million and edging out the premiere of the original Kings of Comedy.
Yeah, just the names I think of for a stunning and incredibly dark sci-fi psychological thriller, Jennifer Lopez and Vince Vaughn.
I can see J-Lo better than Vince Vaughn. When I
Yeah,
hear
for
Vince
sure.
Vaughn, I just think of Dodgeball.
I think of Wedding Crashers.
The number one song was Incomplete by Cisco. And interestingly, while Cisco is most heavily remembered for his massive pop culture anthem Thong Song, it was actually this slower R&B ballad that became the first and only number one hit on the Hot 100. Just so you know, Thong Song peaked at number 3.
Okay. Are you aware of the thong song?
I know of it. I've heard of it. I don't know if I know how it goes.
Do you want me to sing it to you? Because I'm fairly certain I still know every word. I will not sing it. It is pure poetry, though. Dumps like a truck, thighs
Yeah,
like a what?
Okay, yes. Now it's
Yeah.
ringing a bell. But that
Yeah.
was like his most popular song. It didn't even hit the top 100, the number one, surprisingly.
Yeah, that is surprising
can't-
because I don't know any of the words to Incomplete, but I know every word to the thong song.
And Thong Song, when I was doing my research, it came out earlier in the year 2000. So
Yeah, I was in the
He just
fifth
had
grade
to-
when it came out.
some important video games that came out this week. Now, you're wondering why I'm putting this. Madden NFL 2001 came out on August 14th. No, I'm not. Whenever we get around to August, I'm not going to mention Madden, but
Mhm.
this one was important, so I wanted to include it. EA Sports dropped this game right at the start of the week for the PlayStation. It featured Tennessee Titans running back Eddie George on the cover. And why this is important is this is the first Madden NFL game that does not have John Madden on the cover. And that's when they started going with a player on the cover every year.
Interesting. Do they still do Madden? I assume they do.
They do. I actually bought the newest one. So
I-
I'm not a big Madden head. I don't play online, and I buy it like every 3 or 4 years because I'm like, yeah, you know me, I like football.
Yeah.
And so this year it came out on the Switch too, and I'm like, this is perfect. Well, I don't play online. This will be
Yeah.
perfect for the playing. And so I put like 50 hours in just playing because you can
Wow.
play portably. And the Switch 2 version didn't run as well as like PlayStation 5, but it did well enough that, you know, it was kind of cool that I was right. It's when I went to Las Vegas, and on the plane, I'm just playing a game of football.
Nice.
And then the other important video game that came out this week was Chrono Cross on August 15th, the highly anticipated successor to the legendary Chrono Trigger, released in North America for the PlayStation. It dominated the gaming conversation that week and famously earned a perfect 10 out of 10 score from GameSpot.
Never played either of those games. I really want to. I'm sure they seem outdated now, but at least the story sounds cool.
I am told that so I played a little bit of Chrono Trigger. I have never beaten it. I'm told if you're going to play Chrono Trigger, try to get the DS version because they modernized it a little bit, but
Okay.
also just like the original version, it's really expensive. And it's so weird to me that Chrono Cross is like a sequel to the biggest RPG, one of the biggest RPGs of all time, and no one talks about it nearly as much as its
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're on my list. I love RPGs, but I just haven't got around to playing either of them either. I keep hoping maybe they'll do like a release or something.
Yeah.
They need to do it like they're doing with Dragon Quest in the HD, and then maybe I'll play it. I think they remade Chrono Cross for the Switch PlayStation 5, though, if I remember correctly. All right, and then our last bit, some world news going on at the time. We had historic Korean family reunions. I just thought this was a nice one. And a massive diplomatic and emotional milestone, August 15th marked the first day of historic temporary reunions between families from North and South Korea who had been separated for nearly 50 years since the Korean War. 100 North Koreans traveled to Seoul, and 100 South Koreans traveled to Pyongyang for the highly televised and deeply emotional meetings. Did I pronounce that right? I think I did.
Pyongyang. I mean, it might be
Pyongyang.
Pyongyang.
I don't know.
I've always heard Pyongyang, but like the people that say that are usually from the South, so you can't you can't
In the South,
judge by that.
it's Pyongyang.
Yeah. Pyongyang. What is
But yeah, I thought that was a nice little world news that to put us into some happy stuff going
yeah,
on.
that's nice. I like that.
All right, Josh. After all that, let's get into the episode.
This is Pokemon Food Fight. As the episode begins, our narrator kindly prepares us for yet another filler episode by explaining that the weather is so bad that Team Ash is stranded on some island for a week. Things had to be real bad if you're stranded there for a week. But it was nice of him to at least set expectations for us. Everyone is tired and hungry, but Misty isn't too tired and hungry to insult Ash, and that's what I love about her. She's in it for the love of the game. Notbrog gets out his flower identification book, which is funny to me because I imagine him lugging around like a free little library's worth of textbooks in his bag. Just like his backpack weighs like 200 pounds. It's like, bro, just get a Kindle. I'm sure they exist in this world. Jeff Bezos has to be some kind of interdimensional being who exists in all realities, drawing wealth from every conceivable middle class family.
I was going to try and argue and say, hey, wait, we're in the year 2000, but they also have video calls in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Exactly.
do I know?
Yep.
Also, we should mention that Notbrock is trying to find them plants that are edible. I would not eat anything this guy told me to eat.
No, he's going to end up poisoning one of them, or they're going to end up tripping really hard.
Yeah. Guys, swear, eat these mushrooms.
No, they're fine. Notbrock's flower book helps him identify some flowers that apparently Pokemon love, but when he tries to pull them out of the ground, it turns out some whiny little kid is growing them in his hair or something. I'm honestly not sure what he's doing here. It's like the writers ate one too many of those forest mushrooms when they were writing this episode, but none of that is important. What is important is that this kid has the whiniest, most annoying voice in the history of the show. Jeff, can we get some audio of him berating Team Ash?
Just because you're bigger than I am, you think you can come here and pick on me, do ya? Well, you picked on the wrong kid, because I'm Golzar, the greatest grass Pokemon trainer in the Orange Island. So get lost!
I'm sorry, I was just looking for some flowers to feed our Pokemon.
You think just because I grow some flowers in my hair, you can come along and use my head as a snack bar for your hungry Pokemon, do ya? How'd you like to have a battle?
I always wondered what it'd be like to wear flowers in my hair.
Listen, we were just looking for something to eat. We'll go look someplace else. Oh, I see. Now you want to run away because you know you won't be able to beat me. What?
So this kid's name is Golzar, but I'm not going to be calling him by his real name because an insecure little twerp like him deserves a name fitting of all insecure twerps, like Zech Mandeville. Jeff, do you want to explain who Zech Mandeville is?
Yes, so we are choosing the name Zech Mandeville because I'm going to be honest, sometimes people are just rude on the internet, and so they try to make fun of me about our being a picky eater and, saying, oh, this guy is a picky eater. Looks like he ate everything, which, for one, that's low-hanging fruit. I know I'm overweight, but I've also lost 50 pounds, so screw you,
Yeah.
Zach.
Yeah, he looks great. This is kind of like the opposite of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Like, do you remember that story from the first Kingdom Hearts? There was like some kid who had a terminal illness, and so they named one
Yeah.
of the optional bosses after this kid. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's the opposite of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's
So
the
sorry,
Be
before we
a
get on
Prick
to Zach, you
Foundation.
just sparked a memory. So I listened to a podcast. Actually, Kate got me onto this podcast. It talked about the creation of Halo, and there was a kid who was terminally ill. And he wasn't going to make it to see Halo, so he got to
Mhm.
see Halo before anyone else did. But yeah, so
Yeah,
we're naming this
I
kid Zach
remember
because
reading that
Zach
story.
is a little twerp, and our real Zach is a little twerp. And I'm sorry, if you want to go and make fun of someone for the way they look, then you have a lot sadder life than I have.
Yeah. And honestly, if that's what you spend your time doing, I hope you enjoy your 5th grade graduation next week. Because the only people that do that are people that are in 5th grade.
If you're an adult, just do better. Don't go making fun of people. Okay. I'm off my soapbox.
I was um so now that we have an entire episode devoted to making fun of this kid, it's time to roll the title card.
Pokemon Food Fight!
I really hope that person isn't actually a 5th grader because 2 grown adults are about to spend the next like 30 minutes
You know
making
what?
fun of a
It'll
10-year-old.
He fired the
It's
first
fine.
shot, and
He fired the first
here's
shots.
the thing: if
Yeah, I
you
know.
are a kid, Zach, this hopefully will teach you to be a better person, so people will like you in the future.
Yeah. 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 And if you're an adult, I hope us being condescending makes you think about your behavior a little bit more. Anyway, Zech and Ash face off in the most annoying battle of the century, with Zech throwing out Gloom, which is like the Imagine Dragons of Pokemon. It's like, it's not the worst ever, but it's still pretty bad. Ash's Pokedex tells him that Gloom is weak against fire and flying types, so he decides to commit a straight up murder by sending out Charizard.
Yeah, because Charizard listens to him now.
I know.
I want to mention, and so we've talked many times about this is what this character is called in Japanese. This is so they switched to English. We've had some weird ones where they had an English name in Japanese, but they still changed the name. I'm sorry. So in Japanese, Zech was known as Junji.
Junji?
Junji.
So
Junji. So like a Japanese name.
Instead of Golzar, it was Junji.
Yes.
I like that better.
Why would you change his name to Golzar? That
I don't know.
sounds like the
Sounds like
name
It
I'm
sounds like
throwing
something
up.
in yeah. Yeah. It's like a D-list like Viking or Norse god. It's like
Yeah,
one of the ones.
Golzar.
Yeah, Golzar. He showed up in like one of the lesser stories about Thor and Odin.
But speaking of Ash using his Pokedex, he acts like he's never seen a Gloom before, but he has literally saved one from a burning building. Erica's Gloom, Josh, if
Yeah.
you remember.
I do not. Fortunately for Gloom, Ash is a moron and accidentally throws out Squirtle, the type that is totally ineffective against grass types. Have we ever seen Ash grab the wrong ball? Like, he's grabbing balls all the time and he never grabs the wrong one.
So I think the implication here is it's supposed to be that he is so hungry that he can't think straight and grab the wrong ball.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. They did say that at the beginning of the episode.
Well,
but,
yeah, they
but
said
he's
they're
hungry he's hungry at the beginning of every episode.
Yeah, they didn't do a very good job of explaining this.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's what's supposed to be happening because it happens. We'll see. It happens more than once.
I wish every time I did something stupid, I could just blame it on being hungry. It's like I would make my wife angry. I'm sorry, babe. I was hungry. I didn't get to eat today. Squirtle
When you grab the wrong ball.
I know, when I'm out here grabbing balls and grabbing the wrong ones. Squirtle uses Water Gun, which makes Gloom go Super Saiyan. Misty berates Ash, telling him to use his head, but he says he can't use his head when his stomach is totally empty, to which Misty says, guess your head takes after your stomach. What a gem. What a peach she is. Look, there are plenty of things to make fun of Ash for, but I will never fault him for liking someone much smarter than him like Misty. Fellas, the best dating advice I can give you is to always choose a woman smarter than you. Some of you will have more choices than others.
Yeah, and if you don't know which one you are, then you have quite a few to pick from.
Squirtle returns, so Ash tries to throw Charizard out again and somehow ends up grabbing the wrong ball again. Like, you gotta be careful about grabbing the wrong balls, Ash. People get canceled for this kind of thing. It slips out of his hand and Ash breaks his ball on a boulder. The Pokemon inside emerges to reveal a sleeping Snorlax.
I believe this is a new thing we have seen with the Pokeball. We've never seen them break ever before, have we?
No. And I wonder, like, I guess the Pokemon would just come out, but it couldn't kill a Pokemon, could it?
I don't think so. Do you think a Pokemon has ever tried to intentionally break its Pokeball in order to leave its trainer?
I don't know. It's like it's sitting on a shelf and it tries to like knock it over.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Not Brock Scyther has thought of doing that a few times.
But yeah.
Let that guy retire in peace, not Brock.
Zech has Gloom cast Solar Beam, but Snorlax just tries to take a bite out of Gloom. It then makes its way to Zech and eats the flowers out of his hair, and then eats his lunch, which is exactly what Zech Mandeville deserves. He throws a temper tantrum and then runs home to his mommy. Ash realizes that they're going to have to move Snorlax manually since its Pokéball is broken. Zech points out that the closest Pokemon Center is over a mountain and then runs off laughing hysterically. Jeff, can we get some audio of Zech's laughter so we can all hate him together? He also does that eye thing that I'm pretty sure a character has done before, where they pull like their lower eye lid down.
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking it up for you.
You've explained this before.
Yeah, it's called an akonbi. It's a Japanese facial expression and gesture associated with sarcasm, teasing, or mild taunting.
I feel like if a person did that to me in real life, I would think they were on something.
I think it's supposed to be kind of a tamer version Japanese use than
Of like the middle finger.
The middle finger, yeah.
Fair enough. Team Ash strategizes how to get Snorlax over the mountain. And before we get into their master plan, surely there's a better way, right? Like there's gotta be, like, couldn't they like take Squirtle out of a Pokeball and let Snorlax use that Pokeball? Surely, do they not have extra Pokeballs in case they like want to catch a Pokemon?
Well, so the rules of Pokemon state that you cannot catch a Pokemon that's already caught. So I don't know if it could go into a Pokeball.
But you're just changing Pokeballs, right?
Yeah, I don't think they've ever ran into this. I mean, here's the question. Couldn't we have just left like Not Brock with Snorlax? And if Not Brock ended up dying, are we really out
Problem
something?
solved. We're taking applications for a third guy. Yeah, I feel like there are much better ways they could have handled the situation. So like now that we've brainstormed all these practical ideas, Jeff, can you explain Team Ash's actual plan for the folks at home or in their car cutting the grass or taking a dump?
Yeah. So their plan is to practice deforestation techniques by cutting down a bunch of trees and putting Snorlax on those trees as Misty moves the front tree to the back, and Ash, Not Brock, and Pikachu pull him with strings.
Yeah, Ash, Misty's lifting like full-size tree trunks here.
Honestly, all of Team Ash is pretty strong here. As you said, Misty is moving these trees with no problem.
Yeah.
And even Ash and Not Brock pulling Snorlax is a feat of strength considering he weighs over 1,000 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, they're muscle mogging. Is that a thing? Is that how you say it? Swole mogging? They make it about 12 feet before they need a break. Nutbrock has a brilliant idea to hang his last remaining apple on a string to lure Snorlax up the mountain, proving that he was holding out on the rest of the starving group by keeping this apple for himself. To no one's surprise...
guys, look, I just found this apple.
Where did this apple come from? It just fell off a tree and landed in my backpack. To no one's surprise, but to my great amusement, Snorlax leans up and chomps the apple before they even take a step. Misty has the moderately better idea of dressing Ash up in an apple costume, so Snorlax chases him up the mountain. Wait, so you're telling me that they have a party city in the middle of the forest, but they don't have a Poké Center?
I don't think that's what happened. I want to know who was carrying this apple costume around. You know what? I'm just going to assume it came from Not Brock, probably one of his fantasies he has drawn up in his sketchbook.
Yeah. The Ash apple, the Ashel. I'm going to call it the Ashel.
The Ashel?
The Ashel. Tipper Gore's coming for us. It's too close. The Ashel runs away, but eventually falls down. So Snorlax tries to take a bite. Realizing the Ashel is a fake, Snorlax drops it and goes back to sleep. But the good news is that they've made it all the way up the mountain.
If you were chasing food and you were that hungry, would you just contentedly go back to sleep after realizing it was a fake, I'd be pretty mad.
I would be pissed, yeah. And I would be
Like,
even more hungry.
yeah, for sure.
Their new challenge is to find a way down. Conveniently, they hear the rush of a nearby river, so they decide to build a raft to float down. I hate giving Team Ash credit, but their wilderness survival skills are off the charts. I just thank Arceus that this isn't Naked and Afraid.
And surprisingly, this isn't the first time we've seen them build rafts. I'm pretty sure they built the rafts on the sinking island when all the Kabuto were coming alive. Do you remember that episode?
No, maybe, possibly.
So there was like a news team, the Kabuto were coming alive, and they're like, "Help! The island's sinking now that they're all alive." And then they left the news crew to die on that island by taking the raft.
Classic Team Ash. Like, yeah, their survival skills are off the charts. They weren't going to let the news crew sink their raft. Sometime later, the raft is built, and Team Ash sets sail down the river. That turns out to be like a mile high waterfall. Like I said, their survival skills were good, not their survival instincts. But as Team Ash plunges into the waters below, that takes us into
Who's that Pokemon?
All right, and our Who's That Pokemon for this week is Nidorina. Again, we've already done Snorlax, so I just picked a random one we haven't done, which we are doing Nidorina, and in Japanese, she is also known as Nidorina. Some basic information on Nidorina. It's number 30 in the Pokedex. It is a poison type. It is 2 feet 7 inches tall and weighs 44.1 pounds and is known as the Poison Pen Pokemon. And it evolves into Nidoqueen with the use of a Moonstone. All right, so Nidorina's name. Nidorina's English name has a few cool linguistic layers to it that hint at their design and typing. The Nido portion likely stems from the English word needle, referencing the toxic barbs and spikes covering her back, or nidocyte, the venomous stinging cells found in animals like jellyfish. It could also be a clever nod to the Latin word nidor, which translates to smell or stink, a fitting root word for a poison-type rodent. The rena portion is a classic feminine suffix found in many Romance languages, perfectly distinguishing her from her male counterpart, Nidorino.
It's really bad when the coolest thing about a Nidorino or a Nidorina is its name.
Yeah, nidocyte. I mean, I learned another new word. I'm learning lots of new words today.
I know. This is like, we're up to 3 right now.
It's Japanese name. So just like several other Generation 1 Pokemon, her name is basically identical in both English and Japanese, but the Japanese wordplay adds an extra layer of context. Her Japanese name Nidorina uses Nidoru, which is the Japanese transliteration of the English word needle, pointing right back to those venomous barbs. It also incorporates Nido, which translates to 2 times or 2 degrees. This is widely believed to be a meta reference to the fact that the Nidoran family is uniquely split into 2 distinct evolutionary lines based on gender. Finally, just like English localization, Rina acts as a feminine sounding suffix. So it's kind of cool how it has a different name, but they kept it because they could find ways to make it work both ways.
Yeah. It's kind of funny to me that whoever created this spent so much time thinking about all the like spent clearly a lot of time thinking of good names for these Pokemon, and I'm never going to use this stupid Pokemon. I hate it.
I mean, I enjoy Nidoqueen and Nidoking.
They're all right.
All right, what is Nidorina based off of? First of all, it's based off of rabbits and there's another word. Logomorphs. Nidorina's large spiny ears, prominent front fangs, and stubby tail draw heavy inspiration from rabbits. This connection is further cemented by her evolutionary method. She requires a moonstone to evolve into Nidoqueen, which is widely considered a nod to the Asian folklore of the moon rabbit. Nidorina is also based off of porcupines and hedgehogs. The prominent toxic barbs and spikes covering her back are a clear reference to spined mammals like porcupines. This physical trait ties directly into her name origin, which likely stems from the English word needle, as we said before, or the stinging nidocyte cells found in jellyfish. And then last but not least, she has some things based off of rhinoceroses. While Nidorina herself lacks the prominent facial horns seen on Nidoran, Female and Nidoqueen, her sturdy, thick-legged build and her evolutionary family's overall anatomy draw heavy inspiration from rhinos. Nidorina's biology. Nidorina is a female-only sky blue mammalian Pokemon dotted with dark blue patches. While she typically moves as a quadruped, her thick, powerful hind legs allow her to comfortably stand bipedally. Her face features striking red eyes, large spiny ears, and two sharp teeth protruding from her upper jaw. She is armed with large toxic spikes along her back, though she thoughtfully retracts them when resting in her burrow, socializing with her pack, or caring for her young. Finishing off her sturdy build are three clawed paws and a stubby little tail. Despite her spiky exterior, Nidorina is actually a highly gentle and social creature. She shares tight-knit bonds with her family and becomes noticeably anxious when separated from her group. As a famously caring mother, she will even chew her food into a soft paste before safely spitting it out to feed her children.
She'll chew the bones of rodents and spit it into her kid's mouth.
Because her horn grows at a slow pace, she strongly prefers to avoid combat. However, if enraged or forced to defend her burrow in the hot savannas and plains she calls home, she will unleash a flurry of aggressive physical attacks like clawing and biting, or emit disorienting ultrasonic cries to befuddle her foes. All right, some Pokedex entries on Nidorino. Red and Blue says, the female's horn develops slowly, prefers physical attacks such as clawing and biting. Pokemon Yellow says, when resting deep in its burrow, its horns will always retract. This is proof that it is relaxed.
Do your horns retract when you relax?
Pokemon Stadium says the female is usually docile. However, if it becomes enraged, it will attack wildly with bites and scratches. Pokemon Gold says when feeding its young, it first chews and tenderizes the food, then spits it out for the offspring. Pokemon Silver says it has a calm and caring nature because its horns grow slowly. It prefers not to fight.
That's why I don't fight either.
Your horn grows slowly. Pokemon Crystal says it has a docile nature. If it is threatened with attack, it raises the barbs that are all over its body. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire says when Nidorina are with their friends or family, they keep their barbs tucked away to prevent hurting each other. This Pokemon appears to become nervous if separated from the others. Pokemon Fire Red says the female has a gentle temperament. It emits ultrasonic cries that have the power to befuddle foes. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl says when it senses danger, it raises all the barbs on its body. These barbs grow slower than Nidorino's.
I bet they do.
Pokemon Sword says the horn on its head has atrophied. It's thought that this happens so Nidorina's children won't get poked while their mother is feeding them. Well, Mom, you poked me in the eye. And then Pokemon Shield says, if the group is threatened, these Pokemon will band together to assault enemies with a course of ultrasonic waves. And that is our Who's That Pokemon segment on Nidorina.
Pokemon!
Back in the episode, Zech Mandeville finds Team Ash drowning in the water, but he points out that all they have to do is stand.
So this reminds me of when I did summer camp in college. So the camp I first worked at, it was required that you had to get your lifeguard certificate. Now, this person right here, me, does not swim very well. Like, I can swim enough to stay afloat. Like, I can go into deep water and I'm fine. I'm not gonna like start drowning. But they wanted us to do like lifeguard training. And first of all, we had to do a pre-test, and after that, they go, we're just going to have you do shallow water attendant. And I wasn't the only one. There was a few. So what a shallow water attendant is, I can be a lifeguard, but only in up to 6 feet of water.
Because they'd have to send in a second lifeguard to save you
Yeah.
and the kid you were trying to save in the first place.
And it's so like the training was so silly because so in regular lifeguard training, they're jumping to the bottom of like the 10-foot pool to get this brick and bring it up, where we're doing it in 4 feet of water, literally leaning down, picking up the brick and bringing it back. We did like worked on how to pull people up on like the stretcher and the water. It was a whole weekend of them telling us just stand up. But yeah, that was my experience with being a shallow water attendant. And what's funny is when I was in summer camp, there was this kid, and we're picking up the kids at the beginning of the day, and we're walking them to the area because we just did a day camp. We're walking them to the area where we did like the morning like songs or whatever. And he looks at me and and so since I was shallow water certified, I was always in like the little kiddie section. This pool actually had a really cool raised area that was only like 3 feet deep. And he looks at me and he goes, "Why are you never in the deep part of the pool?" And I said, "Oh," and I explained to him, I'm like, "Well, you see, I have to protect the people over here in this part of the pool." And he looks at me and I think the kid was like 5 years old. And he goes, if you want to go in the deep side, all you have to do is pass the swim test.
Get out of here, kid. They've accidentally made it to the Pokemon Center, but a large crowd is gathered outside. Ash wonders if they're all there to get their broken Pokeballs fixed too, but Zech says no one else would be that dumb. Shut up, Zech. No one asked you or the garden you're growing in your hair. I despise this kid when I feel obligated to defend Ash. Zech explains that they're all waiting for a Pokemon food shipment that is running late.
So this seems inefficient, but by looking at what we have seen, you think they could at least grow some of their own
Yeah, they're
food?
like a tropical island.
Yeah. As I said, they live by the ocean, so I don't know, catch some crabby and have a crabby boil, but not Carol's crabby. Stay away from those
Yeah.
crabbies.
Ooh, crab does sound good though.
And then I said, and then I got crabbies. That was a callback.
It was a good one.
Crabbies.
You might need to add that one to the soundboard. Like the
I might.
perma soundboard. Nurse Joy, once again conveniently, says the plane will be there within minutes. The shipment is dropped just as the scene changes to Team Rocket's binocular view. We're almost 12 minutes into the episode, and this is the first time we're seeing Team Rocket. And this might be a record for latest Team Rocket introduction. Team Rocket sends out their secret weapon, Meowth in a mech suit, which is honestly kind of rad. It uses a plunger on a rope to retrieve the shipment while Team Rocket says their motto. I love that this is basically the equivalent of stealing a bunch of dog food off of a PetSmart truck in the Pokemon world. Team Rocket says they'll trade all the food for Pikachu, telling that the decision is up to the crowd, who seem like they're game to throw Pikachu to the wolves.
Yeah, they're definitely going with that mob mentality.
Zech Mandeville steps in to tell everyone to chill out, and Not Brock says he may have flowers in his head, but he has a really good heart. Shut up, Not Brock. No one cares what you have to say. You're not a tenth of a man regular Brock is, and less than half the man of kind of Brock.
I made a note of this line, and it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
What does Zech having leaves in his hair have to do with his heart?
Yeah. They challenge Ash to fight the Mecha Meowthinator, its actual name, but none of Pikachu's usual lightning attacks work because the Mecha Meowthinator, which I'm going to call Mecha Meowth because it's like a tongue twister. Mecha Meowthinator. Say that 10 times fast. The Mecha Meowth, I can't say that either. Meowth's mech. Yeah, we're going with that. Meowth's mech chases Pikachu through the forest and over some boulder in what is honestly, this is a pretty cool scene. It's definitely the best scene of the episode because Ash has to admit no one could beat the Meowth mech. Just as Meowth mech does not roll off the tongue. Why am I having so much trouble with this, dude? It's not that hard. The Mecha Meowthinator. Just as I'm just calling it Meowth. Y'all know that he's in a mech at this point. If you don't, then we need some listening comprehension questions, and I need some elocution lessons. Just as Meowth is about to take Pikachu, Snorlax shows up to save the day and is wide awake and is pissed. It's like when a dog wakes you up in the middle of the night gagging and throwing up because it ate too much dirt, which happened to me this week. We got a dirt eater in our house. Snorlax and Meowth battle, but the mech suit is quickly destroyed, leaving Meowth no choice but to hit the self-destruct button, which sends him flying into Snorlax's giant belly, causing him to bounce off and knock Team Rocket into the lake. Notbrock says Snorlax won with naval power. Naval, like your belly button. And, dude, I hate giving Tracy credit, but that's a pretty solid pun, and I generally don't like puns. He's earned me using his real name this one time. He earns it every once in a while. It's like he's averaging like every 8 to 12 episodes. Snorlax hyper beams Team Rocket, and they're blast off yet again. Ash slow motion runs towards Snorlax to give him a hug in true rom-com fashion. But Snorlax runs past him to the cargo shipment and starts eating all the food, which is way better than any romance story. Have I ever talked about how much I don't like love stories?
No, but I can't wait to hear this.
Dude, I like The Notebook is the stupidest movie I've ever seen. I just don't like romance. I do have some exceptions, but I don't like love songs. I don't like love triangles are the bane of my existence. I hate romantic subplots. They annoy me almost 100% of the time. I do have a few exceptions. Comedies, romances work in comedies like The Office and Parks and Rec and all those types of shows.
50 First Dates, that's a good romance movie.
Okay. So I'm okay if in comedies, like especially comedy shows, and I'm okay if the romance is like I don't really like romance stories, but if it's the primary focus of the story, like 50 First Dates or something like that, I'm more okay with it. That kind of is what it is in The Notebook, but I hate that movie. That movie is terrible. It's a well-made movie, I suppose, but I don't know. I just don't care about the love lives of people in the 40s, I guess. But I don't know. But I also don't like TV shows. So, for example, TV shows about like the sex lives of people in New York, like Friends and whatever other show. How I Met Your Mother. Hate those shows. Terrible shows.
Oh, see, I love both those shows.
Garbage. I just had to go on a love story rant there for a second. So thanks for listening. Eventually, Nurse Joy gives Ash his now fixed Pokéball. Thanks for fixing Ash's balls, Nurse Joy.
He won't grab the wrong one.
He can't be grabbing the wrong. He needs to get like a Sharpie and label the outside. He returns Snorlax, and then Zech tries to save face by saying he was wrong about Ash. Are we good to forgive Zech Mandeville at this point?
Forgive him.
Okay, we forgive you. That is, the official stance is forgiveness. We forgive you, Zech. Just don't be a douchebag anymore. It's lame. It's super lame. The episode ends as Team Ash floats away on Lapras's aching back.
And that's the end of our episode. And so what are your thoughts on this episode?
I mean, it was better than the last episode. It was like a 4 out of 10. Like, it was goofy enough that I liked some of it. But these filler episodes are taking a toll on my ability to care.
So, Josh, I don't want to spoil too much, but you're gonna really hate Johto. It takes them, if I remember correctly, it takes them 18 episodes to get to the first gym.
Oh, no.
And there's 8 gyms.
Oh, no.
Okay, so just imagine, so this is like a 40 episode arc we're doing, and we're almost to the end of it. Kanto had like, I think 80 or so episodes for the 8 gyms. Yeah. Johto has over 200 episodes for the.
No. I feel like we've had a bunch of good, like, I feel like our episodes end up being pretty good because the actual Pokemon episodes aren't very good.
Yeah. So, but just wait. Once we get out of the Orange Islands,
I really can't wait to know what the GS ball is about because I know I'm just going to be pissed. I'm not even. I can already see. I can already see that I'm gonna be so mad. I'm not gonna be able to sleep that night.
It's so stupid. You're gonna, and I'm not gonna spoil it. But
no, please don't. I'm not looking it up. I cannot wait to find out. How many more episodes do we have to go until I find out?
All right. So, Josh, want to know, so we are on episode 116.
Right.
And the episode that we learned about the GS ball is episode 153.
Okay.
So do the math.
So
30 more.
30 something
more. So next, if we can keep up a good schedule, next year we'll get to hear this rant.
No. It's gonna be one for the history books.
It's going to be one for the history books, yes. But yeah, because it's about
it'll be one for the YouTube algorithm.
I cannot wait. And technically, yeah, because we have there's an episode that I might move around because I can go anywhere and it has a Christmas theme. So we might just move that to be. So it might be episode 152, depending on where I put this Christmas episode. Since it's our last Christmas themed episode that I'm able to move around, and we can do that around Christmas time.
There you go. What did you think of the episode?
So I'm leaning towards a 5 out of 10. I liked it way more than last week's, and Snorlax is one of my favorite Pokemon. Though, here's the thing. We are at just about over 100 episodes, because this is episode 116 of our podcast, but we've done the Christmas special. We've done 2 movies, 2 Pikachu shorts. We've done Detective Pikachu. So we're at like episode 110 or so, maybe a little less.
Yeah.
So about just over 100 episodes in this whole anime. And they've done 3 episodes on Snorlax.
See, I don't really like Snorlax. Like, it's fine, but it would always annoy me. It's like, bro, get out of the road. Like, you can literally go sleep anywhere. Just don't sleep in the road is all I'm asking.
All right, so let's go to our question of the week. And I kind of had a fun one with this one. What food would someone need to dress up as in order to get you up and doing your job?
There's so many things I want to say.
I mean, I'll start. I mean, a big slice of pizza.
I would get up for a pizza. Yeah, especially a really good pizza. I'd get up for a really good burger. I'd get up for
a donut.
Oof. Do you like cake donuts?
Cake donuts are okay. I'm
blueberry cake donuts from Shipley's, bruh.
I like myself a good Boston cream donut.
I would get up for like a really good burrito or tacos.
Really good sandwich. Like, I love sandwiches.
What do you consider a really good sandwich?
So there is this place near me. It's the name of the town, Deli. It's real simple. And I get here's the thing. You walk into this place and it's overwhelming because he always has his sub of the month. And and a lot of times those end up on the actual menu. So there's like 30 different sandwiches, and his whole like front board is just plastered with different sandwiches, trying to figure out what I want. So I'm like, I'm going to try something new every time. And then I walk in and I order the same thing, which is his chicken bacon ranch. Sometimes he has a chicken cordon bleu sandwich, which is good.
Well, that sounds good.
I do have to tell you this though. You order so the guy that works there, whenever I'm there, I think he's the owner of the shop, and he must work whenever, like the whole time, like 7 days a week. I've been there on the weekend. He's still there. And so you order your sandwich and he'll ask you any tomatoes, onions, or mushrooms. And then my answer is always no, because I'm a picky eater and I don't like this stuff. So
his response, get all of those things.
His response is, okay, just the good stuff. Then I found out from one of my friends, if you say yes to all 3 of those, he goes, run it through the garden. But yeah, I love a good sandwich.
Yeah. I would probably get out for some waffles.
Waffles are good.
A really good Reuben. I mean, I'm getting out of bed for a lot of food. There are not a lot of things I wouldn't get out of bed for.
So if you want to answer our question of the week, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Pokemon Snapshot, or send us an email at thepokemonsnapshot@gmail.com. You can also find us on YouTube and TikTok. Just search for the Pokemon Snapshot. We post short clips on both platforms, and if you'd rather watch the full episode, the complete video is available on our YouTube channel. And if you're enjoying the show, leave us a rating on your favorite listening app so other Pokemon fans can discover the podcast. All right, Josh, do you have anything else to add?
Now I'm hungry. You've made me hungry by asking this question.
All right, well, go and get something to eat. And the rest of you, please join us next time when we will be watching Pokemon Double Trouble.
We all live in a Pokemon